Hello children, today it being 5th of June, and today 5th of June is marked as Environment Day, Earth Environment Day. And luckily it happens to be a day, and even today I have decided to talk about and discuss something from your literature book for class 11th Hornbill, and it's going to be the third poem of the Hornbill book. So let me talk something about this. And let us start. We have in our solar system, we have so many planets, but if Earth is called a unique planet, that's only because life is possible only on Earth. And yes, there are so many factors, so many factors are there which are responsible for making life possible on this Earth. And of those important factors, one of them is water. Without water, we cannot imagine of life. And yes, scientists all over the world, they have been trying hard. They have been using and spending a lot of resources just to get some kind of clue if there is life in any other planet. What is so important? So that's why, and that is all about water. So water, because of water, the life is possible on this Earth. And we are facing alarming situations where that water level of the ground, it's really going down at a very threatening level. And already there are many countries which have been declared that they are left with no amount of potable water. So really each drop counts, each drop matters. So children, you see that in your day-to-day life, because the effort of every individual is going to matter a lot when it comes about saving, preserving and taking care of life on this planet. So that I have discussed something very on a serious note. Now let me have some other kind of discussion with you children. Now let me ask you a question, children. Has it ever happened that you were in the playground and it started raining? Did you ever get wet in the rain? Did you ever play while it was still raining? Because we need to understand things. These are natural phenomena. This rain and this sunshine and the breeze blowing, all these things we need to understand, right? We need to feel, we need to experience it, we need to admire these things. This we need to appreciate, because we are lucky. All the inhabitants, all the life of this Earth planet are lucky to have been born in such a planet where we have all the things in so much of amount, and that's why life is possible. So that was one thing. So now I announce and declare that what we are going to talk today in this lecture. So today we are going to talk about the third poem of your Hornbill book, that is The Voice of the Rain. And it's composed by Walt Whitman. Now in this poem, what happens, in this poem, Walt Whitman, celebrates rain, and it describes the water cycle. See the difference you see. When a poet describes a water cycle, it becomes a poem. But in your science, you describe, how do you describe water cycle? That when the sun rays fall on the water bodies, water gets heated up, it evaporates, it goes up, it condenses, and then again there is a downpour and it comes back to this Earth, and this complete thing is called a water cycle. So this is how you study water cycle in science. But when a poet has to describe a water cycle, he describes it very differently. So, and rain is so important, you know. So entire in this poem, what happens? The poet celebrates and admires and appreciates, you know, to this entire mechanism of rainfall, water cycle, to the different process involved in this water cycle. The poet says that rain and the water supports life and benefits the earth. And in the opening line of the poem, children, the first line of this poem, you know, it starts this way, and who art thou? This phrase with the small line, the poem starts. Again I repeat, your poem starts with, and who art thou? Thou means here you, right? So the poet here recalls one of his conversation he had with the falling raindrops. And the poet gets surprised when he gets the answer back. He gets the answer, you know, when the poet asks the raindrop, and who art thou? That means who designs you, who made you, who has brought you into existence. So at this, the poet gets very surprised when he gets to hear the answer. The rain says it is born in the form of intangible water vapor. The rain is born in the form of intangible. Intangible means we cannot see it, we cannot touch it. In the impalpable, intangible form from Earth's land and deep water sources. And then it rises up in the form of cloud. It goes up, and the cloud is formed in, you know, there is no particular shape of the cloud. It formed vaguely, there is no particular shape, but it is altogether, it remains same. See, water is only one matter, whether it is water in liquid form or gas form, water vapor, or solid form, that is ice, it remains water. So water is only one matter which exists in all the three forms. So whether water is in form of water vapor or water or ice, it is water. So here the water says, you know, it goes up, it forms clouds. It's the wave is differently designed, differently formed, but it remains the same. And ultimately again it falls, you know, it comes back to its own origin. That again it comes back to earth, right? And it washes off, it washes away the dust particle and fulfills the thirst of the drought-ridden and dry earth, right? The dry earth and the earth which looks like drought and dry, it fulfills its thirst, and it quenches its thirst, and it making, you know, satisfied with the enough amount of pouring of the rain. And children, here one more thing is said, that the seed or all other forms of the life on this earth would not survive in absence of water. A seed, when it is sown in the soil and when it gets water, right, it sprouts off into the form of a tree. Otherwise it would remain as a seed only. Now going to the next paragraph, here the poet compares the rain as a song or a poet. See, a song, you know, is born in the heart of a poet, in the heart of a human being. And after giving happiness and joy to each and every person, that song comes back to its creator in the form of appreciation, right? A song, here the poet has compared the rain with a poem or a song. And the song is born in the heart of a human being. The poetry is born in the mind of a poet. And the poetry or the song, after giving happiness and joy to all people, each and all, everybody around, they come back to the same person where it was born, in the form of appreciation, in the form of praise. Similarly, the rain also, you know, it takes birth in the in Earth's land, and the bottomless sea, it goes up in the form of cloud, right? And then again it pours back, it comes back to its own place, to its own origin, from where it was born, in the form of water drops, to make it pure, to make it beautiful, to make it clean, and again it comes back to its own place. And at the last, you know, there is a word is written, reckoned or unreckoned. That means whether the song or the poem composed or sung by some person, whether it is liked or not liked, whether it is heard or not heard, it comes back after, you know, spreading and giving happiness to all. Similarly, the raindrops also, the sound which is made while it rains, whether that sound was experienced by somebody or not, again it comes back to its own place of origin. So this was the poem. It's very short, very simple. The message it gives, it's great. So listen to this video, and then, you know, you just read the poetry and you will understand. God bless you.